views and opinions expressed may not reflect those of the Allen County Public Library, Access Fort Wayne, and or any other supporting groups. If you are interested in producing your own programs for Access Fort Wayne, you can contact us at 260-421-1250.
Welcome to County Line. Hi everyone, I'm Mike Green, Public Information Officer in the Allen County Commissioner's Office, and welcome to County Line, the program that features news and information about Allen County government. Well, everybody loves to celebrate a birthday. Now there are birthday celebrations and there are birthday celebrations, especially when we're talking about a celebration of a special milestone birthday. And here at Allen County Parks, they're having a very special birthday in 2015, the 50th anniversary of bringing recreational opportunities to the folks here in Allen County. Jeff Baxter is the superintendent of Allen County Parks, and he's going to join us today to talk a little about the park system that we have here and a little about some of the things that they're going to have coming up here in the very near future. First of all, Jeff, it's good to see you again.
Good to see you.
I know we've talked about this before, but it seems to always bear repeating that there are still people out there who probably aren't aware that we have a county park system, much less had the opportunity to visit one of the facilities that you have. So let's begin by talking about the facilities that you have here at Allen County Parks.
Well, we've got 5 parks total now.
Okay.
We've got Fox Island County Park on the southwest end of town, 605 acres, so it's a big park. 290 of that is in nature preserve. We've got Mattea County Park on the northeast, up by Leo Cedarville. It's 250 acres. I've got a couple smaller ones, Cook's Landing. It's corner of Schoaf and Coldwater Road. It's only 4.5 acres. Peyton County Park's about 40 acres total. It's on Denton Road up northwest. And then we took over the operation and management of Deer Run Wilderness area up on Highway 1.
Yeah, and that happened just last year.
Just last year.
Now that's a park that's, well, yes, it's available for public use, but it's not in the same sense as your other facilities. Kind of explain about how you use Deer Run.
It's, the park's 107 acres and it's a beautiful park. But it's a program use only park. We run programs out of there. It has a challenge course. Also has 6 cabins, so you can stay overnight. And we're working on getting the zip line up and going. It's got a ropes course. Michael Gobert is our manager up there, and he runs programs out of there on demand.
Okay,
basically.
so you make a reservation, you contact him. Now, who used to run that facility? That was
Superior Courts ran that facility.
Right.
So,
and then
they did a good job. It was more of an internal thing for the kids that were going through Superior Court.
Right.
And they ran it for many years and left us with a real treasure.
And they'll still be able to use it through you folks, but
yes.
But you also now can open it up to others in the community who might need to use
companies, schools, other organizations. We're open to all those.
Okay. Let's talk a little bit now about some of the things you're going to have coming up in the very near future. We talked about this is the 50th anniversary for the park system.
We're golden.
And again, like I said, folks may not even realize that you've been around that long.
Well, the county park board's been around that. So some of our other parks haven't come into existence till later on, but that's usually how it goes. You have to have a park board first before you can have parks. Okay,
so let's see. As far as the golden anniversary is concerned, I know one of the things you'll be doing, which you do every year, is Solfest, which will come up first weekend in May.
Yeah, May 2nd and 3rd, from noon to 7 both days. It's our celebration of the sun. So hopefully we've got some sun for that day, and we're done with the wintertime stuff. But on that one, we're just going to do some 50th birthday kind of things. You know, just every 50th person through the gate gets in free.
Okay.
We'll do some other giveaways that go along with the 50.
That works well on the theme of the 50th anniversary. But for folks who've never been out to Solfest, kind of explain a little bit.
It's a music festival for 2 days on Saturday and Sunday. Like I said, from noon to 7. There's a kids area from noon to 5. We've got Lions Club coming back out this year to serve food. At Anthony's Brewing Company, we'll have their beer garden. You got to be 21 to get in. Sure. It's in a tent out there. We have a lot of fun. It's down by the lake.
And a lot of music, a lot of local music, and a lot of different styles.
Yes, many different styles, and most all of them are local here from the community, and we're still lining those up right now. So,
okay. So
lining up all our sponsors.
So we'll keep you up to date on that through the Allen County Parks website,
right,
and
our Facebook
through other advertisements and Facebook. I know something else that you got in the works right now are your summer camps. Kind of tell us a little bit about those.
We've got 4 weeks of summer camps this year. We're doing our normal fishing and survival. We've got a pioneer camp, a couple other ones during the week. There's 2 weeks out here at Fox Island and 2 weeks up at Matea. Those happen in July. The Fox Island ones are in June. I think we start them June 15th. So we're good on no matter how long you got to go to school because of the snow days. So. But get in early this year. We dropped the max down to 20 children for each camp. So keep checking our website.
20 is all you can hold per camp, per session.
Per session.
And
we also have a junior master naturalist camp during spring break.
Tell us about junior master naturalist, what that is.
Well, junior master naturalist is our younger version of our really popular master naturalist program for adults, and it's for kids from 9 to 12 years old. They come out here during spring break week. From 9 to 3:30, I believe it is, 9 to 4. And you learn all about nature, all kinds of things about nature, trees and leaves and tracks, and animals and everything else. You get a certification from the Department of Natural Resources that you're a junior Indiana Master Naturalist. You can go on later then and become an adult Master Naturalist. So the deadline for registrations for that is March 20th. So, and we need a few more kids. So if you're out there and you want to do something over spring break that's really a lot of fun, they always have a good time.
And again, the information for registration and various other things you need to know about will be on the website.
All available on the website.
AllenCountyParks.org. Okay, all one word, AllenCountyParks.org. Right. So you've got the camps coming up. We've got Solfest. What are some other things maybe that folks ought to know about that you've got planned?
Well, hopefully sometime in May or June, we're going to also have a grand opening up at Deer Run Wilderness area, because we really haven't opened that up to the public yet to show them what we offer up there. We'll just have some fun and games, and we'll show the challenge course and the ropes course and what we do on those kind of things, and hopefully we'll have the zip line up and running by then. So.
Okay. What do people tell you about the parks when they come out, especially folks who maybe come out here for the first time and see it? What kind of feedback do you get from people?
It's beautiful. They didn't even know it was here. Actually, Fox Island County Park, as large as it is, rivals some of the state parks that we have, and we have wonderful state parks in the state of Indiana. Right. But this one's a real treasure out here on the southwest end of town. A lot of people have come out here. They used to come out here with school groups when they were younger, and they haven't been back out since. We've got a nature center since they've been there. So beautiful nature center here and up at Matea. So we really get a lot of good feedback, and we're more the natural area and preserving natural
because
things.
I think sometimes people get the idea of parks, you're going to have swing sets and playgrounds and you know, like you would see in an urban park or a city park, but yours is quite different.
Quite different than that, and we've got probably 6-7 miles of hiking trails here, and you can walk you could walk all day long and never see the same thing in Fox Island. So.
And it's a year-round facility because as we are finishing up winter, you had a pretty good turnout, I think, for your cross-country skiing.
Cross-country ski rental was pretty good this year. It was actually better last year, but last year we had a lot more snow for a lot longer. But we had the cold weather and it stayed on the ground. And we're just winding that that whole operation down right now.
And you have sledding facilities out at Matea.
Sledding out at Matea, and that's still open right now. To, a couple more of these 50-degree days, and it'll
be gone. Yeah, you'll be going down on the water, water skiing as opposed to that. And the pond that you have out there at Matea, you have a swimming area?
We have a swimming area at Matea, swimming area here at Fox Island on a beautiful 17-acre lake here.
Okay. Well, if you get the opportunity, you really should take advantage of the park system we have here in Allen County. Don't wait 50 years before you get out there and try it.
Really?
Jeff, thanks so much for being with us. We appreciate it. Best of luck to you. Congratulations. Happy birthday.
Thank you.
And hopefully another 50 years.
Come on out and see us.
Yeah, absolutely. Come on out and see the folks at Allen County Park. Well, if you are sick and tired of the cold and the snow and the ice, fear not, warmer weather is on the way. That's right. Springtime will be here very soon, and when it gets here, we're going to be able to enjoy the great outdoors with warmer temperatures and sunshine, and we won't have to wear quite as much heavy clothing as we've had to. But along with the change of seasons comes an increase in severe weather potential. We're talking high winds, heavy rains, thunderstorms, flooding, and even tornadoes. So as you start thinking about those warmer temperatures, it's a good time to also start thinking about how you'll be prepared to handle a severe weather event here in Allen County. And with us to give us advice on what to do and what to be thinking about is Bernie Beyer, who heads up the Office of Homeland Security here in Allen County. Bernie, good to see you again.
Hi, Mike. Thanks for having me today.
I know the month of March is typically the time that emergency management officials want people to really start thinking about the potential of what's to come.
All right, well, I started 2 months ago when I got tired of the cold, looking forward to the warmer weather. But with, like you mentioned, with that warmer weather comes change and instability in the weather system, and that creates a potential for risk for all of us.
And I think people sometimes get the idea that, you're talking about areas like Oklahoma, Kansas, the Deep South. Those are the areas that normally get a lot of severe weather, which is true. But that doesn't mean we escape that potential.
No, and that's what gets all the attention nationally on the news. But you know, to be truthful, a strong windy day and an old oak tree in your side yard coming down on your power lines, that's an emergency for you. So it doesn't have to be one that makes the national news. It could be a very local event in your own backyard.
And these can happen shortly after spring begins. April can be a very dangerous time.
They can. Last year we had an early warm February and back to cold. With March Madness brings mad weather. So those changes happen really quickly this time of year, hopefully within a couple weeks.
And the reason we want folks to start thinking about this and start preparing is because, as you mentioned, the volatility of these storms, they happen so fast, so much faster than severe weather that comes through in the winter.
Absolutely, and that's what creates the severe weather, is the rapid change. It's not the slow, gradual storms like a winter storm that we track for 3 days and put the warning and watches up. But these spring storms happen pretty rapidly as conditions change. So if we're not paying attention, if we're not keeping up to date with the weather, we could certainly be caught off guard.
And you have, in some cases, only minutes to act and carry out your preparations and your plans.
That's absolutely true, and that's why being prepared makes so much sense and is so important to know about those risks well in advance, to put that plan together, to practice that plan, and then to share that information with your friends, with your family members, your coworkers, so that when that sudden storm comes up, you are ready for the unexpected.
Okay, so what are some of the things we ought to start thinking about as we're formulating a plan?
Well, you have to know the risks. You have to know what severe weather, what hazards are present here in Northeast Indiana. And if you've lived here for 2 seasons, you kind of know that. But we have to know that severe weather includes lightning strikes, winds, tornadoes, heavy rains, flash flooding. So all those events are possible here in Northeast Indiana. So we need to prepare for all of them. And we need to make sure that just not mom and dad knows, but the entire family knows about those risks and knows what you can do about them.
Okay. You've brought a few things for us to take a look at. These are things that you can include in I guess you call it like a family disaster kit.
Absolutely. Really one of the processes is to know the risks and then make a plan. And then once you've made that plan, to build a kit to support that plan. And the kit, there's lots of information on our website, on the Red Cross's website, on FEMA's website. There's no shortage of lists for kits. They can be as long as a single page or multiple pages, but it's important for people. I really like the KISS principle, where you keep it real simple up front. It could be something as simple as a small bag with a couple Band-Aids and a pocket knife that you carry in your purse all year long. So you're ready. Or it could be something as elaborate, as a 3-record chest survival kit that keeps your family safe for months or something in between. So the most important part of it is to know what's in your kit, know how to use it, and make that kit right for you and your family.
Sort of depends on whether you live, say, in a house that has a basement in it, or if you a ranch-style home that maybe doesn't, something like that. Then you make your plans accordingly.
Absolutely, and it's also important when you put that kit together that you have it where you're going to evacuate to. If your family's plan is to go to the basement, that ought to be where your kit is. It doesn't do you much good out in the garage if you're in the basement. So whatever you put together has to make sense for your family, for your needs, and it's got to be in the place that you're going to seek shelter in.
Well, let's talk about shelter, because people aren't always clear as to exactly where I need to be in a home, say if I don't have a basement, if a severe storm or even a tornado is coming through at that time. What's always the advice that you give?
Sure. Well, the main threat in all those events, we talk about wind events, I mean, even to a degree for earthquakes and things that might not be as likely to happen here, is flying debris. That's what we're trying to protect everybody against. Whether you're in a school, whether you're at your home, wherever you're at, that's your #1 threat in these events. So with that said, wherever you're at, if you're in a home with a basement, you want to get into that basement, if it's a safe basement to get into, in the southwest corner. If you're in a slab foundation, you want to go to one of those interior rooms, a hallway into an interior bathroom without a window that might break and have flying glass. If you have time to get into that tub, pull a blanket, pull a mattress on top of you if it's safe to do so. But again, what you're really trying to do is look around your home, look around your business, around your school, and look for the potential for flying debris, and that's what you want to get away from.
And this is the point where you really, I think, need to get your family together, your loved ones, whoever you're living with, and talk these things out and make sure everybody understands this is where you need to go, this is where you need to be when the warning comes out.
That's absolutely critical. It's not just enough to know where to go, you have to practice, and the entire family has to practice. So many times in our spring storms, it's the afternoon when they occur. As the warm air drops, the cool air moves in for the evening, we have that sudden temperature shift. And that's a lot of times when kids are home from school waiting for mom and dad to get home from work. So the family's not all together in one place. Or there's after school activities, someone's at band practice out on a parking lot or in another sport. So the families aren't always together when those storms happen. So it's really important that every member of the family participates in knowing what to do.
And also, if, God forbid, the home is destroyed, you have to know where you're going to go, get out of the house, and where you need to go from that point as well.
That's absolutely right, Mike. It's practicing those things. It's talking through all those potential events and having a plan for all of them, making sure that it's age appropriate, making sure that all the family members know what their role is as an individual and as a member of that family team.
Now, what if you happen to be outside the home, in your car traveling someplace, and all of a sudden severe weather strikes? I hear conflicting things about you stay in your car, you get out of your car, you get in a ditch. What's the suggested course of action to take?
Sure. Well, for things like rain, hail, some winds, lightning events, staying inside that vehicle is still the best place to be. But in the event of a tornado, or if you suspect a tornado, the vehicle is not a safe place to be. You need to get out of that vehicle, get into a low-lying area, a low field, a low ditch, the drainage ditches on the side of the road. If they're not full of water and flash floods, not a potential in that area. But as long as it's a dry or semi-dry, low-lying area, that's the best place to be. You'll get wet, it'll be noisy, but you'll be a lot safer there.
And something else we ought to touch on, because we've had several of these tragic events occur here in our area. Folks are out driving, a severe storm, high winds come along, knock power lines down, come across the car, and they make the mistake of touching something within the car, and it leads to a tragedy.
That's right. In the event wires come down, we treat all wires like they're live electric. It's really tough to tell in the car, or even if you're out in the neighborhood, what's a cable TV line, what's a FiOS line. what's an electric line. So the general rule of thumb is don't touch any down wire. Use 911, or if it's not an emergency, to your power company, and stay away from that. If you're in the vehicle, stay in the vehicle and make that call. And if you don't have a phone in the vehicle, wait it out. There's nothing wrong with sitting in the car for a while. Eventually help will come to you.
Okay, we've talked a lot about severe storms in terms of high winds and that kind of damage that can occur. Let's talk a little bit about flooding and the problems that brings with it, along with some of the things you should be keeping in mind as you put your emergency plan together, specifically relating to flooding.
Sure, we have really two types of flooding here in Allen County. We have the flash flooding and the riverine flooding. The second, riverine, that's our St. Mary's, Maumee, St. Joe. As they rise, typically we get a lot more warning. We know hours or days in advance what that flood stage is going to be, and it gives those folks that live close to the rivers a lot of time to prepare for that, to move things up. So although it's important and it's an emergency situation, we've got a little bit more time to prepare for that. The flash flooding becomes the bigger problem, especially for that early morning commute. So many times here in Allen County, we get the overnight storms that have swollen the creeks, the tributaries leading to the rivers. In many places are designed to go around the bridge instead of washing out the bridge, which means the roads going up to the bridge become flooded before you get there. And so many times they are submerged just before daylight. And folks that use those routes going to work each morning will oftentimes take the risk and drive through them. And every year here in Allen County, we have vehicles stranded on those roads leading up to the bridge along the rivers, which makes it so much more important to get that message out that 3 to 6 inches of water can float a car. So if that road is submerged, if that road's underwater, you can't tell how deep it is. Turn around, go somewhere else. Might take 10 more minutes, but never ever drive through flooded intersections or through flooded roadways.
Okay. We talked a little bit about things to put in your emergency kit, and I know you talked about they can be very simple, they can be complex based on what you're looking for, but what are some of the things, regardless of size, you need to make sure you have? I mean, flashlight batteries.
Sure, I've got a few examples out here on the table to kind of represent different circumstances. A NOAA weather radio. Whether it be one you plug into their home there, the white one, or one that goes around with you hooked into the flashlight. We talk about how fast storms come up. You've got to stay in touch with your weather forecast and what's going on. Whether you use a smartphone that's got a wireless app on it, or whether you use a weather radio in the home, some sort of information to know about that change in situation is really the first step. From there, whether again be a simple case that goes in your purse or in a pocket, a first aid kit, something to clean your hands, alcohol-based hand wipes or hand lotion, water, we all need water.
It's also a good idea, I think, to have some food supplies on hand, because in the cases where you lose electricity, it could be out for 24 hours or longer as the crews are working to restore, depending on how widespread it is. It may take a while for the crews to get that power restored. And in a case like that, you may not be able to cook for a while, and you could use some of the easy stuff that you can eat by hand readily.
Absolutely, Mike, and I really use these as examples where they're out of, whether that be comfort food or easy pull-off tabs, some high protein snack foods, get you through the first couple hours. Using a flashlight, maybe get back to your pantry where the canned foods are, or whatever your plan is to cook long term.
And don't forget the pets.
And the pets as well. The cats, the dogs, they all need to be fed as well. The games, if you go into that basement for a while, you have to keep the kids occupied. So think of the simple things first, the comfort foods. And in your emergency supply kits, make sure you put the foods that the family wants to eat.
Right.
Don't put the leftover can of beets for Thanksgiving that you didn't want in the first place, but put the kind of foods, the snack foods, those comfort foods, they're going to make you and the family members feel a little bit better in a bad situation.
Yeah, hopefully the power won't be out for that long, or you can get someplace to replenish whatever food you need, but at least you'll be taken care of for the first several hours if need be.
You certainly will be. And you know, most people can do without food for several days. You might not be happy, you might be grumpy, but from a survival standpoint, water is a more important thing to get in you first, and then light amounts of food. The more you eat, the more you have to drink. So if you got limited water, you also want to limit your intake on food so your body functions as efficiently as it can in those first 12 to 24 hours.
Well, you've given us plenty of food for thought here today as we start thinking about spring coming around and the potential for severe weather. Bernie Byer, thanks for being with us. We appreciate it.
Oh,
and,
my pleasure,
we
Mike.
hope folks will take all of this to heart and start now in terms of planning and preparing for the potential for severe weather. Get an action plan together, talk with your family about it. Helping individuals who are moving from incarceration in prisons back into society is part of the work of Allen County Community Corrections. One area that we want to talk about on our segment today are community service work crews. We'll let you know about the kind of work they do and how you can possibly get a crew to come out and work for you. And joining us today is Bill Barron, who is the Community Projects Coordinator with ACCC. Bill, first of all, we appreciate you taking time to be with us.
Thank you.
Tell us a little bit about community service work crews.
Individuals who are been sentenced to the courts, individuals who are on home detention are required to do community service until they gain full-time employment. They show up Monday through Friday and sometimes on Saturdays and go out with our crew supervisors and perform community service assignments.
Okay. What kind of individuals or what kind of, I guess, what we're trying to get at is we are not talking about, say, high-level felony offenders or anything like that.
No, they individuals such as that are involved in different types of classes and programs at Allen County Community Corrections.
So we're talking lower-level felonies or misdemeanors, and these are folks who've been sent there from the courts. Is that correct, or been assigned to you from the courts?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, and then obviously the individuals we spoke to that are on home detention who are required to do community service until they gain full-time employment.
Okay. How many folks do you have to a crew, and how many crews do you have that are available?
Right now we have 2 crew supervisors. We can take 13 each, so we have 26 people doing community service every day.
Okay. Kind of give folks an idea of the type of work that they do or type of projects that they would be involved in.
The busiest part of the year for us, obviously, is during the spring and summer, working various festivals and events. Three Rivers Festival, Greek Fest, Allen County Solid Waste, City Solid Waste, the Plex, Mitzvah Shrine, National Serve All Trash Routes, a lot of various different jobs.
So a lot of different community events that
Correct.
are going on. You have your folks out helping out.
Yes.
How about if there are people in the community that are in need of some help, can they get these crews out to help them?
We work with companies, non-for-profits organizations such as that, not direct individuals.
Okay.
Yes.
But then what about, say, like neighborhood groups or associations if they're looking for some help for certain things?
Spiro Neighborhood Association we've worked for in the past, so we do have a few neighborhood associations that we do work closely with, normally in the spring and or summer.
And what kind of work are they doing? Kind of give some ideas as to what they're sent out to do.
Like for neighborhood associations, they have annual neighborhood association cleanups, alley cleanups, various projects that they may need assistance with.
Okay.
Yeah.
And there are fees involved in this, I understand.
Correct.
Okay.
Yes. Say you were interested in hiring our crews, I would then meet with you, figure out if we can help you or not, and then at that time we will discuss fees.
Okay. And are we talking about like a range that's involved, and then what helps determine how much we're talking about?
You know, some not-for-profits, you know, are struggling financially. I like to work closely with them. I normally like to keep rates low, anywhere from $20 an hour up to $40 an hour.
And I would suppose the type of work they're doing and the amount of time it takes probably factors into how much you're looking at from a rate standpoint.
Correct. We have some assignments where we'll be working say, all week with, or versus maybe another assignment where they only might need maybe an hour or two of work done. And I, like to, help those individuals out.
Right, and as you say, if they're nonprofit organizations that need help, you work with them to make sure that it's affordable for them and helps you cover what you need covered.
Correct.
Okay.
Correct. Sir.
And how's the money used that you collect?
All the money that we is used to sustain the programs and Allen County Community Corrections.
Okay.
It helps pay for fuel costs for the vans that we drive if we need various tools for work assignments.
So obviously this is not a profit-making deal.
Correct.
As
Correct.
it usually isn't in government.
Correct.
This is simply helps cover your costs and the cost of the program.
Yes.
All the
Helps
way around.
cover expenses. Yes, sir.
And how many people do you have you say you had 2 crews, how many people to a crew?
13 each.
Usually use 13?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, you'd get 13, and then you get your crew supervisor. They are transported in a van. We have trailers available and multiple tools for use depending on what your project is.
And again, you're not talking about things, say like they're trade-oriented type work, electrical work or anything like that.
No, this is all manual, general labor.
Okay, so
Yes.
basic stuff.
Basics, yes. Like I said, we have, when we work at the Three Rivers Festival, just anything that may be done as far as general labor goes, painting, cleaning, moving things of that nature.
And I know you're putting out, you're doing a lot of extra advertising about this, trying to get the word out a little bit more to help build up your clientele, so to speak?
Yes, we've worked with a lot of different agencies through the years. Some have let us go, and my goal is to get the word out about our excellent services and try to build back up our clientele.
And you have heard from some of these folks that you've done work for who've appreciated what you've done.
Yes, we've heard from a few individuals that have performed community service. They have appreciated the way they've been treated by our crew supervisor, being treated with dignity and respect while out performing their community service in the community.
Yeah, and as we said, we're not talking about major projects that they could be working on or things that are very technically oriented, but this does help those folks get back into society and out of the prison mindset.
Correct. We try to teach them that giving back to their community, hopefully they'll see value in that, and when they've completed their community service and they've gone back into their community, hopefully that what they've learned from us will transcend into their life.
Okay. Well, if folks want to find out more about this and see about hiring a crew, how do they go about doing that?
Just give me a call at Community Corrections at 449-7252, and we can go from there.
Okay. Bill Barron, thanks a lot for being with us. We appreciate it very much.
Thank you very much.
Well, that's all the time my friend and I have for this edition of County Line. Thanks for joining us. And remember, all of our County Line programs are available for viewing on both our YouTube channel as well as our video on demand service that we share with the Allen County Public Library and the City of Fort Wayne. Go to our website, allencounty.us, and you can find out more. I'm Mike Green, Public Information Officer in the Allen County Commissioner's Office, and we'll see you again next time on County Line.